In December 2010, the discovery of human remains along a desolate stretch of highway on Long Island unveiled a chilling mystery. Over a decade later, the Long Island serial killer remains unidentified, having left a trail of at least 10 victims. The case has sparked fear, speculation, and an unyielding quest for justice. Today, we'll delve into the enigmatic case of the Long Island serial killer, exploring the gruesome discoveries, the exhaustive investigation, and the theories that persist in the quest for justice. We'll examine the lives of the victims, the patterns that emerged, and the challenges faced by investigators as they tried to catch this elusive predator. This is a story of horror and persistence in the face of an ever-present enigma. The case came to light when Shannon Gilbert, a 24-year-old sex worker, disappeared in May 2010. Her search led to the discovery of the remains of 4 other women, all wrapped in burlap and buried along Ocean Parkway. These victims, like Shannon, were young, working in the sex industry, and had been reported missing. Each woman had a similar profile, petite, in their 20s, and advertised their services on websites such as Craigslist and Backpage. Shannon's disappearance began the unraveling of a much larger mystery. On the night she vanished, Shannon made a frantic 911 call stating that, "They're trying to kill me." Her disappearance prompted a massive search operation, which ultimately led to the discovery of multiple bodies. The first 4 bodies discovered were those of Melissa Barthélemy, Maureen Brainerd Barnes, Megan Waterman, and Amber Lynn Costello. Each woman had been strangled, and their remains showed signs of meticulous care in their disposal. The commonalities among the victims suggested the work of a single killer who specifically targeted sex workers. Long Island, a suburban area near New York City, became the unexpected backdrop for this sinister case. The isolated stretches of Gilgo Beach provided the perfect dumping ground for a serial killer who preyed on vulnerable women. The serene and secluded nature of the area stood in stark contrast to the horrors that were uncovered. The discovery of the bodies sent shockwaves through the local community. Residents, who once felt safe, now feared for their safety. The media coverage brought national attention to the case, turning it into a sensational story of fear and mystery. The initial search for Shannon Gilbert led to the discovery of 4 bodies in December 2010. Over the following months, additional remains were found, bringing the total number of victims to at least 10. Some of the remains were partial, indicating that they had been there for an extended period. These discoveries expanded the scope of the investigation and highlighted the possibility of even more victims. Subsequent searches revealed the remains of Jessica Taylor, Valerie Mack, and other unidentified victims, including an Asian male dressed in women's clothing and a toddler believed to be the child of one of the female victims. These additional discoveries complicated the investigation, suggesting that the killer had been active for a longer period than initially thought. Key pieces of evidence include the burlap sacks used to wrap some of the bodies, personal belongings of the victims, and the locations of the remains. However, the killer's meticulous methods left few forensic clues. Despite extensive searches, crucial evidence like DNA or personal effects of the killer was scarce. The burlap sacks, while a unique clue, did not lead to a breakthrough. Autopsies revealed that most victims had been strangled, and some showed signs of prolonged captivity before their deaths. The meticulous care in wrapping and disposing of the bodies suggested a calculated and experienced killer. The lack of immediate forensic evidence pointed to a highly cautious and methodical perpetrator. Shannon Gilbert's 911 call on the night she disappeared described her fear and confusion, suggesting she believed she was being pursued. Witnesses in the area reported seeing a vehicle and a man, but no definitive identification has been made. Shannon's last known movements provided critical, albeit fragmented, clues about her final moments. Investigators pieced together a timeline based on the last known contacts of the victims. Most were last seen meeting clients arranged through online advertisements. This pattern provided a narrow window of time for each disappearance, suggesting a methodical and opportunistic killer. The Suffolk County Police Department, along with the FBI, launched an extensive investigation. They used various methods, including aerial searches, ground sweeps, and forensic analysis, to uncover more evidence and identify potential suspects. The investigation was one of the largest and most complex in the department's history. Search operations extended over a vast area involving cadaver dogs, forensic experts, and numerous law enforcement agencies. Despite the extensive efforts, the dense underbrush and marshy terrain of Gilgo Beach hindered progress. The difficult terrain slowed down searches and made the recovery of remains challenging. The investigation faced numerous challenges, including jurisdictional issues, lack of cooperation between agencies, and initial skepticism about the connection between the victims. The remote location and the time elapsed since some of the murders further complicated the search for clues. Internal conflicts within the police department also hampered the investigation. Over the years, several suspects have been considered, including local residents with criminal histories and individuals connected to the sex industry. However, none have been definitively linked to the murders. One notable figure was Dr. Peter Hackett, who called Shannon Gilbert's mother offering help shortly after her disappearance, but he was never charged. Other suspects included local men with records of violence against women, but each lead ultimately led to a dead end. Hackett's suspicious behavior and inconsistencies in his statements made him a person of interest. However, there was insufficient evidence to charge him, and he denied any involvement. Hackett's calls to Shannon's mother and his claims of providing medical assistance added layers of intrigue and suspicion. Investigators employed advanced forensic techniques, including DNA analysis and digital forensics, to piece together the victim's last movements and potential links to suspects. Despite these efforts, the meticulous nature of the crimes meant that definitive evidence was hard to come by. Many theories about the Long Island serial killer have emerged. Some suggest the killer is a local resident familiar with the area's geography. Others believe he may be a transient individual with connections to the sex industry, using online platforms to lure his victims. Theories vary from a single killer to a network of individuals working together. Another theory posits that the murders are connected to organized crime or a network of individuals involved in human trafficking. The methodical disposal of bodies suggests a high level of planning and possible assistance. This theory highlights the potential involvement of multiple perpetrators working in a coordinated manner. Some speculate about potential corruption or complicity within law enforcement, pointing to delays and missteps in the investigation. Critics argue that internal issues within the Suffolk County Police Department may have hindered progress. This theory proposes that someone within the department might have had knowledge of or connections to the killer. Another prominent theory is that the killer is a local resident who knows the area well and is familiar with law enforcement tactics. This knowledge would allow the killer to evade capture and dispose of bodies in remote locations with minimal risk of detection. Behavioral experts have developed a profile suggesting that the killer is a meticulous planner with a deep understanding of forensic evidence. This individual likely has a stable and unremarkable public persona, allowing them to blend into the community without arousing suspicion. Recent advances in DNA technology have rekindled hope for a breakthrough. Efforts to re-examine evidence with modern techniques are ongoing, and genealogical databases may offer new leads. These advances have the potential to identify familial connections and narrow down potential suspects. The case continues to captivate the public, inspiring books, documentaries, and renewed media attention. The persistent interest keeps the pressure on authorities to solve the case and bring closure to the victims' families. Public involvement has also led to the discovery of new tips and potential leads. The Long Island serial killer case has left a lasting mark on popular culture, influencing everything from true crime podcasts to TV series. The haunting nature of the crimes and the ongoing mystery ensure that the case remains a topic of fascination and debate. Periodically, law enforcement provides updates on the case, keeping the public informed of any new developments. While no major breakthroughs have been announced, these updates help maintain interest and encourage the submission of new information. The Long Island serial killer case is one of the most disturbing and enduring mysteries in modern criminal history. The brutal murders and the elusive nature of the killer have left a profound impact on the community and the families of the victims. The ongoing investigation and the public's fascination with the case highlight the relentless pursuit of justice. What are your thoughts on the Long Island serial killer case? Share your insights and theories in the comments below. If you found this deep dive intriguing, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay updated on our latest true crime investigations. Your engagement helps us continue to explore and uncover some of the most compelling mysteries in criminal history. Join us next time as we uncover another gripping tale of mystery and intrigue. The bizarre and tragic death of Elise Lam. We'll delve into the mysterious circumstances surrounding her disappearance, the eerie footage that captured her final moments, and the theories that have emerged from this haunting case.